probably the most significant event in my life was in 2017 when my late wife passed. She wanted me to run for office. And it was during her time when she was very ill that I had made the decision not to run because of her illness. And I had said, maybe it's best that I not, because we don't know what's going to happen. And I can remember her words to me. She said to me, you're trying to make plans on what might be. You need to be making plans on what is. I'm feeling fine right now. And that took a little flack for it. People were a little critical of me for running for office while my wife was going through something as serious as she was going through. And her response was, just show them to me and I'll take care of that. Probably since the 8th grade, I've been the same size. If you can imagine that, I've been 5'9", 5'10". I was tall in junior high school. I jumped center in basketball. I was the guy that played point guard. And so, they kind of looked at me. And so I realized at an early age that people put some trust and confidence in people who they believe cares about them, who has the same ideas and same thoughts that they do about trying to be successful. And so I saw myself, didn't realize it then because I was so young, I didn't. But now I look back on it, I have time to review and see, even in high school, as being able to see myself as someone that the rest of the team kind of said, hey, you know what, and I tell my church this now, if I'm not worried, you don't need to be worried. And they took that on, they kind of took that on. And so I saw then that I had some capability, some promise of being able to make a difference in a significant way and try to, the hard part is controlling that and containing that. I've tried very hard in my life to make a difference. My mother and father taught me that don't just be a part of the world, but be a part of making a positive difference in the world. And if you can imagine being raised in the late 60s, early 70s, civil rights movement, Memphis, Tennessee. I was there when Dr. King was assassinated. They implanted that in me, that you owe society something, you owe the world something, you owe God something for being able to bless you.
We need to be careful about how we see one another.
I think one of the things that I appreciate more than anything else is when I run across those folk who were members of my church who will say to me, thank you. Thank you for what you not only preached, but thank you for what you lived. Thank you for what you exhibited. Thank you for what you guided us through. And so those are the personal relationships that I formed over the years of people who I believe were touched by the ministry that God blessed me to have. It does not escape me, being an African American, what that has meant in Oklahoma City and in the times that I've served in Oklahoma City, in the many capacities I've tried to serve in. I've tried to be at least somewhat of a bridge to some level of understanding between the communities. Leadership Oklahoma is probably, when I start listing the things that have probably assisted me along with my mother and father, let me tell you something. Leadership Oklahoma is going to be in that list at the high part of it. And the reason is, to be honest, there were people in our class who I still associate with today, who I still talk to, who are still my friends, who have been extremely helpful in me getting to where I am now. I was elected the Golden Bull of my class, which is the award you get for being the most provocative, they said, member of the class. And so I was pleased that they heard the questions, they heard the things I raised, and they saw me as someone who thought enough of me that the things I raised were significant enough for our experience. Well, I always try to remember that no matter how good it gets, as my late wife used to say to me when I'd come home on a Sunday and think I'd done one of those sermons that God came down from heaven and gave right to me and spoke through me. And I said, didn't I do good today? She said, take out the garbage. So no matter how good Leadership Oklahoma thinks I am by giving me awards, I still got to take out the garbage at home. Yeah.